Brett Perigo, tonight's second place finisher. Plenty of fans here, Brett, and a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I got to shout out the Turn 2 Terribles over there. They're all a bunch of good guys to hang out with, talk to. I really like them.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? Macho Man! I'm on my way to Monday Night Raw.
Figure out how I want to answer the second one.
Your choice.
It's a trap.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's setting up fights in the front stretch. Is what he's trying to do.
Speedway. We've got Devin Borden with us.
At Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen.
Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
What's going on? Sunday, October 12th, 2025. I am Jimmy here with JC. We are the Turn 2 Terribles new night, Sunday night. Hope everybody is having a wonderful end to their weekend and getting ready for the work week. We hope we can make it a little bit better for you. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a great weekend with the World of Outlaws here, especially at Lincoln last night. We're going to start off with that. Also a great night of racing at Selinsgrove on Friday night, high limit out at Lakeside, and some points battles to talk about and some racing to look forward to this upcoming weekend. As the season is continuing to wind down. Like we said, new night, Sunday night. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We see you guys in the chat. What's going on, Matt, Eric, Santos, Marie, Dave, Mandy, Kyle? What's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in, as always. And, like we said, probably going to be doing Sunday nights here for the foreseeable future. Probably be weekly until after World Finals, and then we'll kind of look and maybe we'll go bi-weekly or something like that. But we'll see. Chris Knoll, what's going on, man? Yeah, we're watching the end of the NASCAR race here on the side. Big wreck with William Byron and Ty Dillon there with 30 to go. But Jay-Z, man, how are you doing tonight?
Good to go. Excited for a new night. Not that we ever want to switch days, but just the way life is, that always takes precedent for all of us here on the show over the show. And we found this to be a happy medium for all of us that we could still continue this deal and not have to find new people and or just let this thing kind of fade away into the mist.
Yeah.
So we are here. We are here on Sunday nights. Now, obviously, if we get into next season, there's a race on a Sunday night. It'll be kind of like it is now if we had a Monday night race, right? Or some weird things going on Mondays. So, but we'll work around those things and figure it out from there. But this will be maybe a new change. Maybe we'll pick up some new viewers. Hopefully, we don't lose any regulars. But I will always say, if you're watching here and you can't make it live on Sundays, we're going to post them on socials on all the major podcast platforms after. You can watch it the next day. we're just grateful that y'all tune in and listen to us shoot the shit about race cars.
Yeah, and Matt here makes the joke. Still no part-time Chris, just for this week. Starting next week, it should be all three of us then from here on out, unless something is different. But with work schedules and everything, this should work out and be like Jay-Z said, be a good happy medium for everybody moving forward. So, bigger and better things moving into 2026 for the podcast, and we have you guys to thank for that. Tune in every week. We appreciate you guys. So let's move right into it. We're going to start off with Lincoln last night with the World of Outlaws, final World of Outlaw appearance here in PA as the season winds down. Anthony Macri making a return this weekend gets the win last night for the posse over Chase Dietz, Buddy Kofoid, Sean Hansfield, Troy Wagaman, Brock Zierfoss, Logan Schuhart, Cam Smith, Bill Balog, and Chad Trout. Your top 10. Your quick time with a time of 13.073 seconds was Anthony Macri. Heat race winners were Macri, Kofoid, Gravel, and Carson Macedo. C main winner was Skylar G. B main winner was Cole Macedo. And your hard charger for the night was Tyler Ross going 26 to 13th plus 13 positions. Awesome race here. Anthony Macri looked I don't know if you want to say the word refreshed, but man, did he look so good at Lincoln last night. Chase Dietz looked good as well. Gave Anthony a run for his money, but once Anthony got ripping that top and getting through lap traffic, I don't think anybody was catching him.
Yeah, this was fun. This was fun for so many storylines and reasons, and there was just so many things throughout the night that were a positive thing for the posse. Logan Rumsey timed really well, right? Started up front in his heat. It sounded like they made some setup mistakes in their heat, and he had to kind of battle back through, but you can't say enough. Danny Dietrich was a contender all night. They ended up breaking, but he was in the top 10.
Yep.
Troy Wagaman moving up through the field. Brock Zierfoss looked really good at one point. I think he was up to third or fourth at one point.
Yep.
Cameron Smith passed 11 cars in an Outlaw show to get into the top 10. But Anthony Macri and Chase Dietz, I think Anthony Macri had something for Gravel, whether Gravel was breaking or not. I know Gravel was good; he was out front, but Macri just looked like you said. The word isn't refreshed because he was still he kind of mentioned he was still pretty uncomfortable. But that thing they have right at Lincoln, and it is fast, and it looked like a rocket ship all night long. Time trials to the heat to the feature, and he got by Gravel. I think, we talked about Chase there, and they're wrecking again on the
Oh my God. Oh boy.
looks like iRacing stuff that we do on weeknight.
Yeah, really.
Um,
That was a big
we
one.
yell at each other for being idiots, and real life they're doing the same shit. Guess we're not. I guess we're not that bad. But Dietz was there. I think Dietz had a really, really good race car. But restarts were going to be his chance, and then it was going to be in lap traffic because Anthony was very, very fast. Whether and I think if Chase talked about it, if the roles were reversed and Chase was out front, I think Chase might have won that race. They were both that fast. They were both kind of and then Buddy kind of crept in there at times, and Buddy was giving Chase a run for his money too. And Buddy's no slouch, but Sheldon was coming on there late at the very end. But these two seem to be the class of the field for sure. But man, I don't know if I like it or hate it that this was the same top three from May in a different order.
Yeah, it was. But Chase Dietz finished second in that one as well, but Buddy won that one, and Macri finished third.
Yeah. So just a role reversal, but same top three guys. And, again, we don't know what happens with Gravel or Macedo really if they don't break. And honestly, when's the last time Macedo and Gravel both broke on the same night?
Yeah, I think that was probably for the Outlaws the biggest storyline, especially for Buddy, because now the Buddy cut, and we're going to talk about the points a little bit here later. But I mean, he cut 50 points off the point lead of David Gravel just about this weekend, and a big part was because David Gravel pulling off DNF. Carson Macedo was also up in the mix here in that top 5 as well, and then he broke. You saw Danny Dietrich have to pull off. Lance DeWeese also had to pull off. He had a good night going for the most part. He saw a lot of cars kind of pull off. But some big names, huge contenders. But I'm with you. I don't know if they had anything for Macri or Dietz. Maybe Gravel, obviously, because he was out there, and it's David Gravel. But man, Macri just has that dialed in there at Lincoln.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'll tell you what, again, storylines abound, right? Troy Wagaman, what a great outing. 10th to 5th against the Outlaws, big field, with the points title on the line, right? And I know we'll talk about it, but he stretches his points lead. And to be honest with you, Freddie was only 2 rows back. Freddie started 4 spots behind Troy. They were still neck and neck. And that's a pretty good night for Freddie, starting 11th, right?
And
Like that
Freddie
wasn't a bad deal.
Freddie was up in the top 10 for the first half of this race, and then I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he fell back.
I missed it too. At one point I looked up and he got shuffled out. I don't know where it happened or when. I just looked up and was like, oh, he went backwards. Something happened. So Chad Trout, unbelievable time trial effort. Gets into dash, running up front, doing his deal. On a restart, I thought he was going to be like big junk. He got booted. I think Sheldon did it in 3 and 4. They were like 3 wide, and Sheldon just right reared him, and I thought he was gone. He went up over the cushion and almost into the wall. But a hell of a run for Chad. That 10th place is not indicative of how good that car was all night. Logan Schuchart, I was watching Logan through this race, and he was being ultra aggressive. Obviously, a motivated Logan Schuchart, a very emotional night, all the way around. He was, to me, and I've seen Logan race a lot. Logan Schuchart, and I know there's been other times, so I know people might grill me for this, but like he looked like he was driving like a Buddy Kofoid and a Carson Macedo in that race. He was driving the wheels off of that race car. At one point, he honestly almost wrecked Torgerson at the beginning. He got up into Torgerson. Torgerson almost wrecked it in 3 and 4. Like, I don't know if he knew he was there or what the deal was, but like Logan looked like a man on a mission and looked really, really good too. So just a great night all around. Posse gets another Outlaw win. Makes me look bad on my bold predictions that we wouldn't win any. And not only did that go wrong, but we won the season series against the Outlaws, and they tuck tail and they're heading wherever they're heading now. So bon voyage.
A couple comments here. Jennifer Cool says turn 1 and 2 was fast as fuck. I mean, I don't like how that looks. Hold on, let me change the. You can't really read it when I put it up on screen.
It's too transparent.
Yeah. There we go. How about that? That looks a little bit better. Yeah, turn 1 and 2 was fast as fuck, and I was really impressed with. It was very fast track early in the night, and preface this too. They had to move the start time up twice, and it worked out perfect for them. They did a great job of getting everything in. Moving the start time up worked well. There was a big, tribute to Bobby Allen, which was great. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really classy for the entire field to come out there, talk a little bit about Bobby, and just do everything that they did, and having everybody where just the whole thing. At least from my spot home on the couch, it looked awesome. I'm sure it was even better there in person. Just the vibes there. But I thought it was really classy by Lincoln and the World of Outlaws for what they did for Bobby Allen. I thought it was fantastic to really get this thing started. But they left enough room to be able to do that tribute, and even though it was basically a midday race, but it's later we're here in the fall now, and it's cooler it was very cool during the day, and I was impressed with how wide the track still got, is basically what my roundabout way of getting to. But the track was great, and especially I thought watching them in 3 and 4 was awesome. If you could rip that top like Macri was, you were fast.
Yeah, and Macri said in an interview like he hadn't seen a curve that big at Lincoln in like since he's been an adult. He said, and I tell you what, it wasn't as treacherous as I thought it would be from like watching people go up there. But they could really run hard on it, and it was tall enough that I guess it was forgiving enough that guys weren't jumping up over it in big wheelies or anything like that. Now, if you hit it too hard, your car would get tight. You'd lose your momentum.
Yep.
But I actually mentioned something to Anthony and Victory Lane, like on restarts, especially, I noticed it. He would drive super hard and deep into turn 3 and really have to like check up in the middle and then drive hard off exit. I was like, "Were you doing that on purpose?" Because I didn't like he wouldn't do that as often. He's like, "Yeah, I was just covering, make sure I had any sliders coming at me. I could drive in hard enough to make a decision, or have that other car behind me know I drove in that hard that they couldn't slide me." And I thought on those restarts he was going to wreck the car. He drove in there so hard that I thought he was going to wreck the race car, and it was fun, and it was fast, and they were driving extremely hard. It started at the very end to slow down a little bit, and guys started kind of rolling the bottom, like Sheldon was making some ground up on the bottom. But early in that race, man, they were just knocking the fence down, and not the fence necessarily, but whatever cushion was there was pretty big. They were driving their asses off. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. I know I enjoyed it from my couch. I could only imagine what it looked like there. Uh, really, really fantastic track that they gave them, and really great racing. Um, a couple more. Mandy goes to tribute to Bobby Allen and the Shark Cars leading the missing man who was chopping onions at Lincoln. What's
Listen, it was I've been at the racetrack a long time, and we've had a lot of tributes, and we've had a lot of these things, and a lot of them, they still they definitely like get to you a little, but this was hard. He's not family to me. I've really never spoken to Bobby. I've just been an observer, a fan. I know Logan and Jacob a little bit, and just from Speedway '94, just minor interactions. Are great guys, but that was a tough one to watch. Jacob had to walk away at one point.
Yeah.
He was kind of with the crowd, and he kind of walked away, and some people went over to kind of console him. And when they were doing the video tribute, and man, what a great video tribute that was. And it was it's always tough. It's always tough. That's his parent, and he's back at the racetrack, and that's all
Yeah.
he has ever been is racing with his dad. And could only imagine, man. It was a tough one for sure.
Yeah, man. Jacob, I felt awful for him. Just seeing that and some other videos and stuff like that, and you could just tell. I mean, who can blame him for you just lost a parent, man. Like it's tough. I know how that goes. You know what I mean? It's just I feel bad for Jacob, and I give him props for going to the track because I'm sure that wasn't easy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no doubt.
thoughts are with him and that whole family. What else here? What else from this night? How about the Thunder Cars, man? The Thunder Cars were pretty dope. or was it I'm sorry, the limited stocks, not the Thunder Cars.
These were the Flying Iron Limited stocks, and I'm going to tell you, 25 of them registered. By the time we got done, there was 9 running. I was over it. Like, thank God it was over. I mean, they blew up. We had just shredded tires. We had suspensions falling apart. Pretty
And you're
sure a
trying to
gas
beat the
tank
rain,
strap was
too.
hanging off the back and trying to beat the rain. I can't believe it didn't. It sprinkled a little bit. I left the racetrack and got, I don't know, 6 miles east, and it was it was like
Yeah.
rain, straight up rain. So, I don't know if I'm happy or not that they got the whole race in, as frustrating as it was to be sit there and have to watch it. So, it ended up being a pretty good race. It came down to the last few laps. The best car did win, and I've taken his picture a few times. He had a pretty good race car, but man, it was a tough watch. I'm telling you, that one that blew up, he put fluid down
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I
an
mean, it was
entire
raining.
lap, like an entire lap around the racetrack, and I was like, this can't be happening. And there was a multi-car wreck. They had to tow a couple of them off. There were tires rolling across the racetrack. Like, man, it was after such a good night. That race started at 8 o'clock, and it was done at 8:50. I think it was 45
Yeah,
minutes
for what, a 20-lap
for a
race?
20-lap feature. With like, come on, no reds. I made a joke. We're gonna have an open red for the front-wheel drive cars. Thank God we didn't. I would have just left.
I do think, and I think it's been what 2 or 3 years now of having this October race at Lincoln. Ever since obviously Port lost a date. I think if they continue to do this, I think this is your Bobby Allen tribute race every year.
You feel like it. You
It
feel
should
like it,
be.
right?
Yeah.
And I told someone standing there, like, if this race is ever less than $11,111 to win, someone screwed up.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be one of our big races every year in Central PA.
Mhm.
Lincoln Speedway, in my opinion, is the place for it. Obviously, I hope it gets supported for years to come. I hope it is a real thing, whether it's an outlaw sanctioned show or not. I don't know. Whatever they got to do, and they did honestly. Lincoln for a short, obviously, quick turnaround from what happened. It was unbelievable. Both the Outlaws and Lincoln did a great job. They paced the field, those two cars,
Yeah, that was cool.
in front of the field, and they did the missing man. So, as a fan, they as a fan, Lincoln and the Outlaws together did an outstanding job, trying to honor Bobby in the best way that they could. And then they went and put on a hell of a show.
They
So,
did.
I was nowhere else I'd have rather been.
Yeah, it
Simple as
was
that.
it was really awesome. I know someone said about people cheering when gravel pulled off. It just the posse, people coming together. Us talking in our T2T Discord. Just all about the posse going crazy when we see. You don't want to see anybody wreck, but when there's mechanical failures, it's like, hey, at least we can kind of cheer that because that's good for our guys. It's just I don't know. It
Well,
was fun.
the Discord did, and so did all of Lincoln Speedway.
Yeah.
So it was audible. It was loud. It was an audible cheer from the crowd when gravel. They said they were done for the night. So,
Yeah.
listen, he was falling backwards anyway. He wasn't a
Yes,
threat.
he
The car
was.
was falling the car was falling apart with whatever they had ignition MSD issues going on anyway. He was dropping back anyway, but that just was just topped it off.
Matt Bird asked, "What's the drink of the night?" You had you're
The
drinking
black.
the
I'm going
Blackberry
with the
Unlimited. Man, we
the
had that
Jack
on.
Daniel's blackberry. Oh,
Matt
and
brought that
lemonade,
on
so good,
on Friday night, and man, we were drinking that pretty good.
dude. It's
I'm
so good. Like,
I'm
I don't
getting
do a
real
lot of full
banged
sugar
up.
stuff, but if I'm gonna have some full sugar, it's this.
Um, Chase Briscoe might get this win here.
He kind of needs to, right? I don't know where
Yeah.
he was before the points. I don't
He
know.
was
That's
going
a
to
lot
be
of
in the
laps to
top four
go.
now. Yeah. But Logano's on 2
Yeah, but
tires. He's the next person on 4 tires, I think, are Hamlin and Larson. Maybe Bowman, too. I don't know. Anyway.
this is the most I've watched, so I don't know what the
Yeah.
tires mean in real life in this place right now. So if it matters
Um,
or not, how's it been?
I don't know. It means a little bit, I guess, but maybe not as much with this little laps left.
Yeah.
Larson, though, there he
Anyway,
comes. Man, he's ripping. That car looks good. Anyway,
dude, that's
great
such
job,
a good
Lincoln
looking race
Speedway.
car.
I know, right? The black and gold. Zach Brown.
Yeah.
I love it. Taking a look at the track points as we go into the final 50 weekend next week, where we have 2 more features left for the 410s. This was 30 points, I think, going into the night, and Troy's
30
fifth
or
place run.
35, yeah.
Yeah, Troy's fifth place run and Freddie falling back really opened this up a little bit and gave Troy a little bit of cushion now going into the final night at Lincoln Speedway. Now it's a 105-point gap, and then it's 685 points back to Cam Smith, who's been so good at Lincoln. He's been so good this year and fairly consistent. And the fact that he's 685 points at Troy just goes to show how good Troy and Freddie have been all year. We kind of had that little bit of a joke in our Discord today, between Troy and Freddie. Like, not only are they running every
They've
week
been
here,
at not only have they been at every race, they've been up front in every race.
yes, because Cam Smith, Aaron Bollinger, Tyler Ross, they've been very good all season. They've had honestly pretty good seasons, and the fact that the points gap is so big just goes to show how good Troy and Freddie have been all year.
No doubt.
So, talking about the final 50, next week, final points race of the season. It does have a rain date of Sunday. You have the 410s and 358s. There will be 4 features. So, from a couple weeks ago when the 410s and 358s got rained out, they will run those features, I'm assuming, first, obviously, and then run a full night for the final 50-lap feature for the 410s to decide the track championship, the last event of the year at Lincoln. Cap off a great 2025 season. Excited for this. I know I'm coming down for it. I'm going to camp out. It'll track. Right now, the weather is looking pretty good. I went to this one last year. It was the first time that they did the 50, right? And it was the first time. It was the final 50. It was the first one. I had a blast. It was great. And now you get 2 extra features on top of that. I'm wondering if they might want to think about maybe moving up the start time a little bit, just because of how much but we'll
I think
see.
they're going to.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to. But I'm here for it. Shit. I don't care. Give me a 1 o'clock start time. I'm here for it. I'm there for the whole thing. I'm hyped for it. And you should be too. It's gonna be a great night, I think, at Lincoln.
Don't be surprised if you see 2 hours moved up on all these numbers.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Don't be
Yeah.
shocked if you see that. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but that would be my educated guess that you see a 2 hour move up on all this because there's a lot of racing to get done.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna have to. I mean, I don't know. I would assume they would have to probably do a track rework at some point.
Well,
with all the lap
here's
starts
my
they're gonna have.
here's my fear. It's rare when you can take a track and prepare for it to get worn out, and then also be able to say, okay, I can wear it out and I can get it all back to shape for the final 50. I
Mhm.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but some part of the night's gonna end up kinda shitty. I don't know which way or which end because and here's the other part. Don't be surprised if you see the first feature, which should be 30 laps, get moved to 20 or 25
Yeah,
just to shorten it up a little bit. Don't be surprised if you see that. I don't know, but don't be shocked if you see that. Not, I'd be all for it. I think the few less laps, the better,
I agree.
all around. And I know we typically do 10-lap heats. Right, depending on car counts, do we go to 8-lap heats, right? I know that that's against their rule book, but, like, do they wanna have something to race on later or not?
Right.
That's my question to everybody. So,
Every lap's gonna add up.
every lap with all those cars and, it matters. So,
Oh boy,
um,
Denny Hamlin. Sorry.
teammates.
What a fucking charge from him. He just passed Larson like he was, and he just caught up to Chase Briscoe like he was sitting still.
Yeah.
And he just blew
He
up.
was
He
and
said,
he
"Tops up
show
here."
you if him and Larson are on equal tires and he drove by Larson, you know
Yeah,
he's gonna drive by Briscoe.
yeah. Hell of
Then
a
he
run there,
just
4 to
beat your
go.
favorite driver.
Yeah, Larson's coming back though. He's gonna maybe get Briscoe.
He'll never get back to look
I don't think he'll get to Hamlin. Hamlin's gone now.
no. Now that Chase is in dirty air, though, he'll probably lose second. Anyway, yeah, listen, I think here's the other part though. Bumping up the start time goes against good track prep. The more sunlight you start in,
Yeah.
the faster it wears out. So
So
you're kind of in a catch 22. You should move it up because you want to move it up so it doesn't get so late for temps for the fans. But the more you move it up, the more the track's in daylight while you're running on it. So that doesn't help it for being better during the final 50.
so
So just
you're
some
right
things to think about as a
because
fan and prepping other people going, just know what they're going to be battling against if they move the start time up and what they're battling against whether they do or don't move the start time up with how many laps can we run on that racetrack and what we're going to end up with at the end.
right. So it is going to be 70 and mostly sunny on as of the forecast of right now. 70 degrees is the high, mostly sunny, and then the low is going to be only 51 degrees, which is not as bad as maybe it was this past weekend. I mean, this weekend got into like the low 40s, um, mid to low 40s. At least up here it did. I know at Selinsgrove on Friday night it did. Um, so maybe not. I don't know. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on that. I do think you want to at least move it up a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Whatever they decide to do, I think um, at the end of the day, you're going to want what's best for the track and for the competition. At the end of the day, even if it goes late, it's the final race of the year. It doesn't look like it's going to get too cold. I do have a question for anybody that might know. Are you allowed to have campfires at Lincoln? Because it would be a
I
perfect
don't
night for
think
a
so.
campfire. Damn it! But
I don't think they allow it in that outer or in that camping area. I don't
I mean,
think so.
I got a fire ring. I was gonna bring some firewood. It'd be a perfect night for a campfire.
I
But
mean, you could make them stop by and tell you not to.
yeah, it's true. I guess I could always just throw water on it. But if anybody knows, let me know. But yeah, I,
Um,
I plan on being there camping. I'm excited. I'm gonna try to get there probably Friday night. I'm excited to close out Lincoln's season.
yeah, no doubt. And the other thing I would say that we were talking about the laps is it's a lot of laps, but at least the makeup stuff is features only. They're features only for that. It's not like a half a program or a B and then an A. It's at least just the features. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. Lincoln, I like this race. I love that it's the final 50, but I think the chips are stacked up against them a little bit from what we could get as a show. Whether the beginning is not great in the first feature, or we end up with a track that's just worn out by the end of the night. And man, I already feel for the 358s on their last
Yeah.
race of the night. Whew, that
Their
could be a
first
little
feature
rough.
should be good though. I wonder if they'll run that.
Maybe.
Or maybe I don't know if they'll run that. Are they gonna have time trials for the 50? I would imagine they would.
I would think that it's probably gonna be hot laps. Time trials. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know how they'll do that because
Maybe.
they may just get the hot laps done for everyone that's in the makeups, do the makeups,
Mhm.
and start their program for the 50.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. It's hard to you
It's
don't
good.
because you really don't want to like mix shit in between for divisions. I think I don't know. We've kind of seen that before, but
I agree. Yeah, no, I don't envy their. I mean, and really, they had no choice because they couldn't make it up on the night of the Outlaw show. So I mean, really, they're
right.
between a rock and a
It was
hard
e-
place on when to make up these features.
yeah.
So it'll be a long night Saturday. I'm here for it, to be honest. I really don't care. Matt Bird says, "Party at Jimmy's Camper this weekend. Come on over. Let's go. I'm hyped for it.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. I've been. We're trying to. It's at the point where I'm trying to time when I'm going to winterize the camper, and I really just I don't care about doing the winterizing, but I don't want to put the camper away, man. This means the season's over. It's getting cold. I don't like it. But it is what it is. By the way, Denny Hamlin won, and he just tied Kevin Harvick for 10th on the all-time NASCAR win list. How about that? Only 3 behind Kyle Busch, too.
So did you I heard you bought the infield parking passes at BAPS.
I did. I bought 2 of them, so if anybody else wants to go, I got
I
an
mean,
extra one for somebody.
maybe they'll let you put the camper in the infield. Use those spots for the camper.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yo,
That
right?
would be awesome.
Now we're really partying at Jimmy's
Now,
camper.
now we're really gonna be there. I don't know. That might be too much view obstruction for the fans, maybe with the
Yeah.
camper. My camper's not that big though. It's not that tall, but still.
That'd
That
be
would
so
be
much
fun.
fun. That'd
Listen,
be cool as
Babs,
hell.
if you'll let me do that, I'm all in. Let's go. All right. Friday night at Selinsgrove for the Kramer Cup. You had 410s, you had URC 360, 358s. Excuse me. And we also had wingless sportsman Chase Dietz with the win over Danny Dietrich, Brock Zierfoss, Gerard McIntyre, Jake Harkland, Lucas Wolf, Michael Walter, Austin Bishop, Cam Smith, and Dylan Sisney. Your quick time, 2/10 off the track record, was Danny Dietrich. Heat race winners was Dylan Sisney, Chase Dietz, and Brock Zierfoss. And your hard charger going 15th to 8th plus 7 was Austin Bishop. This was fun. 21 cars for the 410s, 21 cars for the 360s, 358s. And then I think they got 13 wingless sportsmen. So not a huge car count, but that was fine because everything was done relatively early. Chase Dietz, though, man, I made the joke earlier in the year, as good as Danny Dietrich has been at Selinsgrove, Chase Dietz has been kind of like Chase Dietz to Selinsgrove has almost been at like Danny Dietrich to Baps, like just being the guy to beat there. He is the guy. As like I said, even as good as Danny Dietrich has been. Brock Zierfoss, though, started on the pole this one, looked really good. He went from 3rd to 1st in his heat. So the way the format was, which there was some questions about the format, and saw some controversy, of course, on Facebook about the format. It was time. They did group time trials. They sent 3 out at a time, which I liked. I thought that was good. And then they inverted 4 for the heats, all 4. And then they took the top 2 to the redraw, and then the 2 fastest qualifiers then went to 7th and 8th that didn't get into the top 10. So Danny started 7th because he finished 4th in his heat, but he was the quick time, so he starts 7th. That moved, I believe, Ryan Taylor going from what he thought would have been 9th back to 11th because they moved those 2 quick times up. Unfortunate for him because he was 3rd quick, went from 4th to 3rd in his heat, kind of missed out. Understand his frustration, but that's just what it was. I thought it made
Wait. He went what was his overall spot in time trials?
he was 3rd quickest in time trials, So he started 4th in the 3rd heat race. He went from 4th to 3rd, started 11th because both Danny and then second quick was Karklin. They were 2 that did not make that cutoff for the time trial. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get into the top 2, but they were the 2 next fastest cars, and they went in front of the 3rd place cars, if that makes sense.
So
It's
where
'cause
did
they
where did
inverted-
Karklin where did Karklin
I
time
think
trial?
finished. He time trialed 2nd.
So Danny, Karklin, Taylor, they ended up in the same heat.
No. So they inverted 4. There's 3 heat races. They inverted full 4-car invert, not just
Okay,
not
so all
Speedway
4 of those cars, all 3 of
So-
those cars started 4th in their heat.
Exactly. Danny finished 4th in his heat. I believe Jake also finished 4th in his heat.
So Ryan moved
He
up a
did.
spot, but started behind him because of 1 spot in time trials.
Yes.
Even though he passed a car in a competitive environment,
Correct.
and the other 2 didn't.
Correct, because they were too quick. They were quicker in time trials.
That's dumb as shit. That's dumb as hell. What's the point of why do you,
Get up
Well,
into the top 2
he-
and
that
get
means-
into that redraw.
that means to start in front of them, he had to go 4th to 2nd, where those 2 cars only had to go 4th to 4th.
Yeah.
Why? Because you were 3rd. Now he starts 11th in the A because he
Instead
passed a
of
car in
9,
the
I
heat,
mean,
and he was 3rd overall.
It's one row. First of all, I get it. I get
So
the
they were
frustration, but it's at the same time.
handicapped in the basically inverted handicapped in the heat, and then
Mhm.
re-handicapped again in the feature because you time trial good.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where
He
did
didn't get into a
what
redraw
was
spot.
Chase's? Where did Chase time and finish in his heat? He obviously got in the
Chase
top 2, but where did he
time,
start?
I don't know, but he started 2nd in his heat, won his heat. Brock Zierfoss started 3rd in his heat, won his heat.
Okay, so he started 2nd in his heat because he time trialed worse and started up ahead of the guys that time trialed faster because they didn't pass the car in their heat.
I mean, that's just what it is. I don't know.
Make it
it's
make
the
sense,
format-
Jimmy.
It's the format that they ran. They inverted 4. Top 2 went to the redraw, and then the 2 fastest. It's kind of like there's another race that does it sort of like that, not quite as much. Ryan Taylor just ended up being the odd man out here, but really he only lost
I mean,
2
I don't
spots.
disagree with him. That's kind of shitty.
But at the same time, he only lost 2 spots because he was in technically the worst heat. He was in the 3rd heat. So I get it, but
On the
it's
guy the worst
format.
when he was 3rd overall.
Yeah, I mean, at
The
the
worst
same,
of those, he's 3rd overall and has to start 11th in the feature because he passed.
but he
the car in
also
his heat.
only finished 3rd in his heat. So I mean,
But so Danny and
didn't-
Karklin finished 4th.
yeah, and they started 7th and 8th because they were
But
faster
Brock,
than him in time trials.
Brock and Chase started with time
They
trial
won
worse
their
than them.
heats. They won their heats,
But they were inverted to it.
but they won their
So I
heats.
would sandbag if you figure out sandbag the fuck out of your fucking time trial. That's a perfect example of time trials mattering way that don't I would have just do a redraw. Just do a fucking redraw. At least make it
They did make it
unfairly fair.
They did do a redraw. I guess if you want to do all 3 quick timers out of the heats, then sure. I mean, then you could add them in there. But really, Ryan Taylor just ends up being the 1 car odd man out. It sucks. I don't hate the format. I'd rather just a speed week format, but I understand why they did it the way they did, just to maybe try something different, I guess. I don't know. Top top 2 went to the redraw in each heat. It was very simple, and then they just because they did invert the 4, they took the next 2 time trials, next 2 top time trialers to 7th and 8th. So instead of starting 9th, he started 10th or 11th.
There were 3 heats. Why not all
Yes.
3?
Because I don't know. Because then how are you gonna redraw 9 cars? You're gonna redraw 9
So you got
cars.
penalized. So he got
You're gonna
penalized for
redraw an
time
odd
trialing
number
good.
of cars.
He got sure. Why not? They
No,
sounds
that's
like they
dumb.
made this shit up too. So he time trials 3rd, passes a car in the heat, and then because he was 3rd overall, gets stuck in the 3rd heat, and they only did this for the first 2 heats.
I don't know. I mean,
What?
people. I don't know.
Maybe I'm missing something.
I didn't
'Cause
make
every
the
time I say
I
something,
didn't make the format.
I
here.
know, but every time you explain another step of it, it sounds dumber. I don't. Like,
Oh,
and it's not you, but I'm like, every
I
time I
find
hear
it easy to
holy
follow. I
shit.
mean, at the same time, you got to go it
It's
up
easy
and
to
get in the
follow,
top
but
10.
it's dumb. Why would
Yeah.
he get penalized for being in the third heat? He was third overall in the whole rundown in time trials. And he has to go fourth to second to make that. But the other two guys got a gimme for finishing fourth.
Yeah, I mean, unless Danny or Karkland would have moved up in their heat, then he would have gotten 8th then probably.
Yikes. Why
So
not redraw an odd number? What's it have? Why does it have to be an even number?
I don't know. I don't
It's
think
three
that.
heats. It wasn't if it was
I
four
mean,
heats or
yeah, I
six
guess you could
heats.
do that if you really want to do that. But then what's the point? I mean, that just do Speed Week format.
There you go. You talked
Which
him
is what
into
they've
it.
done all year. So
Yeah.
I just
Why
don't.
this one?
I don't see what the big deal is of them trying something different.
You would if
Now,
you were Ryan Taylor.
I mean, going from 9th to 11th.
Matters a lot in 410 racing,
Yeah, sure.
especially when you did everything right all night.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
Yeah, that sucks.
but at the same time, you can't penalize the guys that also, like I said, Brock went 3rd to 1st, and he luckily redrew the pole here. I mean, I don't know. I would have just I would have just stuck with Speed Week format. I think that's just the format that works.
I agree.
But I understand why they want to maybe try something different. Just something maybe because they did group time trials, but still they only
At the
sent 3
same time,
cars at a time. So like,
yeah.
I thought it was fine. I thought they did it pretty well and efficiently.
Like to try something different when you don't run that many a year, and then on the last race try something a little bit different. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't. At least listen, they're living and learning a little bit, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean they announced a new
No,
drivers meeting.
the accountability for Ryan Taylor, it's not accountability on his part. He did everything right. Whether he didn't hear it or not doesn't mean he did anything wrong. It's dumb either way. We're talking about that right now. It's kind of silly either way for him to just happen to fall in third overall in time trials to end up in the third heat, and they didn't redraw anybody or the fastest out of that heat. That it doesn't sound equitable. Third heat was just like the oddball out in a sense that way. That person that was a quick time in that heat was the oddball out. He could have finished fourth. Actually, he could have finished. Doesn't matter if he did. He passed a car in the heat. He didn't have to. It wouldn't have mattered. It meant nothing. Zero to pass a car in that heat race.
No, it would have,
Like
because he would have started 12th then. If he would have finished 4th, or no, if he would have finished 4th, he would have started 14th.
so dumb. Danny finished fourth and started
Or
seventh.
no, he would have started
And he
12th.
was
Yeah, no, he would have started 12th. What am I
and
thinking?
Danny finished fourth, was one spot ahead in time trials and started seventh.
2 spots
Make
ahead
it
of time
make
trials. He
sense.
was quick time.
Oh, quick time. Sorry. Eighth. So eighth. He should have started ninth. So simple as that. Should have started ninth.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, format's the format. I mean, I don't know if you want to say the format's dumb. That's fine, but don't. Try
It
to
is,
act
but it's all good. Yeah,
clueless.
listen, they didn't break their own rules. They didn't go
Yeah.
against what they stated. It just doesn't sound. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all good. So did the track stay fast all night or did it slow down at all?
It was fast, but I mean, it got racy. Chase Dietz, him and Lucas Wolf, hell of a battle. Chase was knocking on his tail tank for about 4 or 5 laps, just trying to find a way around him. Finally did. Heat races were really good. The feature was pretty good too. Like I said, Brock Searfoss led at least the first 15 laps of maybe not quite as many, about half of the race. He led, and then Chase Dietz finally got around him, and Danny Dietrich was charging towards the end, and then we had a late race caution as they were in lap traffic that gave a green-white checkered for Danny Dietrich to have a shot here, but Danny couldn't get around Chase. Gave him a run for his money though, but it was all Chase Dietz there for the win. But Danny Dietrich does win the track title, I believe, right?
They had a track title?
Yeah, they did. Let me go double check.
How many did they get in? 4? 3?
I think 4. They got one. No. There we go. Points. Yeah, Danny Dietrich won the points. 260 points over Chase Dietz. Danny got 2 wins. Chase Dietz got 2 wins, I believe. Blaine Heimbach was third, Austin Bishop, and then Jake Hartman.
Yeah, and Dan Chase missed that double feature night, the
Right.
Twin 20 night.
Yes, they got 5 in.
5, okay.
So
who was the other winner? Macri win one?
it was Macri won the National Open there. Chase had 3 wins.
Yeah, that's right.
3.
Yeah, Chase.
They've just putting numbers in here now. 5, 3, 6, 7. What? But yeah, I don't know. We had a great time up in turn 1. Mandy was there, Matt, Jarrett, a couple. George Wood was there. We saw Jack Young there. A couple people. Shout out to them. We had a good time up on turn 1. URC race was good. Davey Franek won over Michael Walter, and then Tony Jackson absolutely blew the doors off everybody in the winless sportsman race. He won by
What was our buddy Brett doing? How did he get a lap down? Did he put on like tires from the 1980s that were sitting around the garage or what?
I'm not sure. He just said he sucked. He started 5th in his heat, and he just dropped back. And then he's like, oh, I got to figure it out. He didn't. He just he just fell back even more, a couple spots more, and just he got lapped right on the last lap by Tony Jackson. Just didn't figure it out.
Wonder if is the place too fast for him?
No, he's been good there. It might be good. It might be a little too fast for him. I don't know, but but he's been good there in the past, and only 13 wingless sportsmen, trying to figure out why they can't get that division to support the place. But they put on a good show. I thought there was a good battle for second. Who was it between? It was between was it
Zeller? I saw he was up there.
Yeah, I think Stroop and Aaron Zeller. And then it was a pretty good race all around.
I'll tell you what, that Cliff Bryan Jr., I've seen him run a few times this year. He drives pretty hard. I think he's a young guy too. I don't know how old he is, but you just see him. He looks like a young guy. He might be one to watch in that division.
Oh, for sure. Wilbur moved up. Logan Rumsey was running that 59, that 358 that Wilbur was running, but they had some mechanical issues. It seemed like he never really was able to get going. Going back to where's the 360s? Franek got the win over Michael Walter. Josh Weller, who ends up winning the URC championship. Seth Schnoke was looking really good out there. He was up in the top 3 at one point, fell back a little bit, but then came back. Josh Spicer, he's usually 305 driver.
305 guy.
And I was surprised to see him there, and looked like he might be making a jump up. Looked pretty solid, to be honest, all night. It was really this top 5, 6 cars, and then everybody else kind of way back. But Franek and Walter were the class of the field. Cole Young had a deal in the beginning of the race where they got around in turns 1 and 2, and it took a couple cars out. And then, like I said, Logan Rumsey had to pull off with some damage. So unfortunate in the 410 feature, Cody Hartlob got spun around coming out of turn 2 off the initial start. And then way back behind them, it was a gaggle of cars there where Cody was on that start. They were about 3-4 wide on the start. And then he looks like he just got turned around. And then Drew Young, who also mostly runs 305s in a 410, got hit from behind and hit the barrels to the entrance of the backstretch pits. Ended both of their seasons right there, unfortunately. But yeah, that was really That was really it. There was one URC driver who went for a big ride in front of us in hot laps. Unfortunate. Luckily, he was okay, but it was a pretty hard hit. But yeah, how was the surface? The surface was great. I mean, obviously, it was fast. It was going to be fast with how cool it was. But it ended up getting about halfway up the track after midway through the heats or so, and I thought the racing was pretty good. They were able to move around a little bit, and try to get some clean air, and like it was like in the heat where Lucas Wolf was leading and Chase Dietz was trying to get around him. You saw Chase taking some different lines, but it wasn't quite wide enough yet to be able to throw a slider into the corner. So he really had to work for it. It was fun to watch. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very successful first season for this new regime at Selinsgrove. I think they went about promoting the track right, getting the community back involved, getting people local back involved. You're seeing triple the amount of sponsors at the track now. I think it bodes well for them in the future. And the surface was great. Every time I went, I thought the surface was good, and racy enough, but you still had that speed. So I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for the future of Selinsgrove.
Yeah, I think the future's bright, right? I think they figured out a lot of things this year, how, with their program, how to work around weather. They had some, they still have some things with the facility I'm sure they're working on. Even as of 2 weeks ago, they had some electrical stuff going on.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of infrastructure type
there's-
things that continue to need to be invested and caught up and
Yes.
and brought to the future because it's been neglected for so long. But they're working through all those things, and it seems to have gone off pretty well this year. I think the fact that we aren't talking about Selinsgrove every other week as like some new shit show is a positive sign. They feel like they're a member back in the racing community. They're back in this circle of like, hey, let's talk about going to Selinsgrove. Let's figure out how to make that work. Let's get up there. Let's support it. Not what's going to happen next.
Right.
So that's a good sign. That's great for 2026, and hopefully this group stays together and keeps things on the right path.
Yeah, I think everybody had really positive things about them, and I will say the attendance for a Friday, chilly, cold night where you could be going to watch high school football, that place was packed. I mean, it was,
What are you trying to say? I went and watched high school
no,
football. Are you trying to like?
no.
I'm just
I just meant,
I'm
in a
kidding,
night
I'm
where you
kidding.
thought maybe the attendance would drop off, it was like every other race there this year, um, and every single time there was a lot of people there. Maybe not a lot in comparison. If you want to compare it to some of the other bigger tracks around here, maybe not quite as much as that. But for Selinsgrove, their grandstands and everything, their boxes, there's people hanging over the guardrail, they're over the banister all night, up there. So they had all those rented out pretty much. And, just it's when we're standing up in turn one and you look down, you just see a sea of people, and it's great. And people are there. The vibes are up, just in comparison to obviously the previous regime there, it just felt like even the people that were there the last couple races didn't even even myself didn't want to be there. Just you were there. But it's a totally different vibe change, totally different 180, a total 180 with that track. So I got to hand it to them. Congratulations to them on a successful first season. They learned some things, like maybe with this format, maybe not to run it again. But overall, I think they've done fantastic work there and have a great vision for the future of the track. Let's go to also on Friday night. The World of Outlaws went to New Egypt in New Jersey. The Trioval type of track here. Carson Mosquito gets to win over Logan Schuhart, David Gravel, Buddy Kofoid, Sean Hanschild, Hunter Schoenberg, who was your hard charger, 21st to 6, plus 15. Skylar G, Cole Macedo, Justin Whittle, and Corey Eliason, your top 10. Shout out Buddy Schwiebens, P11. That's a name that I think when we're talking next year about names to watch out for, I think that's a name, because not only did he finish 11th here, but he was caught up in an early deal, I believe, in this feature, and he had to come from the back, get his way back up into 11th in an Outlaw feature. So Great run by him. Quick time was David Gravel. Your heat race winners were both Macedo's and Gravel. And B main winner was Garrett Williamson. There's 29 cars, I believe. But yeah, Carson Macedo. It was a cool post race interview, podium interview with Logan Schuart. Obviously, very emotional. For that, great run for him. But it was all Carson Macedo here, led all 30 laps.
It's good to see Zach Hampton. We saw the results Saturday night at Lincoln, and we see the results here that he made both nights, and he just didn't decide to pack up and go home on his own early. So that was good to see. Good to see Zach have a good full weekend. Glad probably because there wasn't any fireworks, so
Yeah, maybe no fireworks might have helped.
decided to hang out for the weekend and then actually and race. So
Dylan Norris too, plus 8, going from 20th to 12th in this feature as well. Good run by Dylan. Justin Whittle though, good top 10. I know Kyle Spence was in the feature. He finishes 23rd here, but shout out to them. Ryan Smith finishes 24th. He made it out with the 69K, but had to pull off, I believe. But yeah, Carson Macedo with the win. Aunt Bay, don't sleep on Buddy. He's got to be a name coming up here in the next year or two. Yeah, I agree. I think he might be the better Buddy. No, I'm kidding.
not quite. That's
Not quite. No, I'm kidding.
So this track is awful, right? I didn't get to watch this.
I watched some of the highlights. It didn't look that bad, to be honest. I've only watched it a couple other times with modifieds, and it gets dusty as hell on the broadcast. But it didn't seem actually to race that bad for the sprint cars. It was their first time back since 2016. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I wouldn't say it was great either. I don't know if anybody who was there can attest to it being good or not, but it wasn't bad.
And you can tell that it doesn't do a lot of sprint car racing because our guys, Whittle in 9th,
Mm-hmm.
got their asses kicked. Now,
Yeah.
there were some circumstances, but where's everybody at?
Oh, Dylan Norris and Macri.
Outlaws.
Macri,
Outlaws, top 8.
Outlaws. Yeah.
Right? Competitive.
Anthony Macri was up there. He started 6th. He was up there. He had a right rear go down and had a drop back. He was up in the mix, up in the top 5 there. Tyler Koenig, impressive facility, track surface, not so much. That's what I hear. Mitch Bodine says it's super dusty, and it comes off on the stream that way as well. It was not just their first Outlaw race, but I guess their first 410 race since 2016. Aunt Bay so goddamn dusty, couldn't see down the front stretch, could only see my car from 3 and 4, and that was about it. And yeah, I mean, every time I've watched a stream of New Egypt, that's what it seems to be like. I wasn't sure if it was that way in real life or if it's just the way the stream came off. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's the track. I don't think it's the track shape as much as it is the track surface that needs improvement.
So in a situation like that, and listen, we all hear things. Do the Outlaws, if they go back, if let's say there's mutual interest in wanting to go back next year, do they say, whatever you did last year, don't do it again, or we're not coming back? Like, do the Outlaws have that kind of say?
I don't know. Because are they going to change everything they do just to get one Outlaw race when they
want it back? If they made
they
money,
they already get the big block modifieds there. You know what I mean? Like is WRG going to say we're not coming back? You know, maybe it does, but just for the World of Outlaws, their only 410 race, their first one in almost 10 years. I don't know if they go and change everything just for that.
I mean, like do some track prep. I mean, like actually do some track prep to have a surface.
That I don't know.
Like I don't know. I just
took rubber in the B. That is not
like
a good look. Not when it's 40 degrees out. You know, I mean, like I know it can take rubber at any point, no matter what the temperature and everything. But I mean, the weather was helping you to not take rubber. Ideal. You know what I mean?
They were like, "What do we do with all these really fast cars? Like, what the hell do we do with these cars? They're so fast. We don't ever see anything this fast here."
Tyler says, spent a lot of time there during my modified days. Gets dusty as hell, but they got really good cheesesteaks at the concession stand.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
at least they got that. That's good.
There you got cheesecake or cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak. Hey, cheesecake would be good too. I would go there for
Oh
cheesecake.
man, I do like some good cheesecake.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'd rather see this date go to a more local track here, but I don't mind them going to some different places here. You know what I mean? But you know, no reason what give me Baps Friday, Lincoln Saturday after the Natty Open, or God
Oh.
forbid Selinsgrove, or you know what I mean? Like, but I would take a Baps Lincoln Friday, Saturday, oh baby, and I think they probably would have did. I don't know how attendance was there, but I think it would be better if they stayed here. That's just my opinion. Not trying to talk shit on a Jersey track here because I love Bridgeport, but
Just the state of New Jersey, not the tracks.
yeah. Which track has the best desserts? I don't know.
Tyler.
Hmm?
Maybe Tyler knows that answer.
Tyler might know that. I know Port Royal has a ice cream stand now, but I never had it. I had a milkshake there one time. It was pretty good. Ampe, they lost their date to Bridgeport years ago because of the track surface. They were dumping water on it early, but that clay doesn't like moisture in it. Listen, JC, stop shitting on New Jersey.
Amber is the only good thing. Amber is the only good thing in New Jersey. Amber and Justin Whitall.
Ooh, fried Oreos at Williamsgrove. I didn't know they had fried Oreos. How am I just finding this out now? Where?
Is that one of the stands they bring in now and then?
Or maybe it's at the right behind the pits. There in one.
Well,
of
I know
those.
that they do the buffalo.
They have ice cream in there too. Yeah.
They do
So
lemonade and buffalo bites or something in there. I don't know if they do fried Oreos
Mm.
there.
Fried Oreos at Williamsgrove. I'm a sucker for fried Oreos. You got me there.
I've never had one.
You never had a fried Oreo? You ain't lived until you had a fried Oreo, my friend.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
You'll feel about 500 pounds heavier after you eat one, but it's so worth it.
You don't need that. That's the last thing I need.
Even Marie agrees. Fried Oreos at the Grove. I guess or where the funnel cake is by the bridge. Okay.
What?
Everybody knows about these fried Oreos but me. Shit.
Oh no, I lost a sponsorship. Or wait, they lost a sponsor. I lost a wait, what?
JC stickers working off the nose wing now, the double OK. Yeah, so looking at the points now at the World of Outlaws after this weekend with David Gravel with a DNF, Buddy Kofoid has closed in almost 50 points on David Gravel now. He's only 106 back. Now, there aren't a lot of races left, but there's a lot that could happen, especially at World Finals when you get 60, 70 cars there. Excuse me. There's a lot that can happen there. So, and the way Buddy's been running, super consistent, knock on wood. You know, we've seen this happen a lot when Brad Sweet was dominating and David Gravel would kind of close in right at the end of the season because eventually Brad would have a race or two, especially it was always in this PA stretch at the end of the year because he always struggled around here. And that's when David Gravel would kind of close that gap up a lot more. I saw that for about 2 or 3 years that happened. Maybe it's kind of the roles reversed here with David Gravel now trying to protect the lead against Buddy Kofoid. We'll see.
And they got a couple makeup features, a couple races coming up before the World Finals. I think they have 5 left total, maybe, or something like that. So Gravel. We don't wish bad luck on Gravel. We want to race it out for it, but shit can happen.
Yeah, they actually have a couple more races. Quite a few more races here, actually, compared to at least High Limit, which we'll talk about here in a second. But they go to Lincoln Park Speedway this Friday, and then LaSalle Speedway in Illinois on Saturday, and then they have a Sunday race next Sunday. So next Sunday we might be doing maybe a live watch along here as we do the podcast at Angel Park Speedway, which Angel Park Speedway is a pretty cool place. Weekend after that, they go 81 Speedway in Kansas, and then Arrowhead Speedway in Oklahoma, and then it's 4 nights for the World Finals, but I think one night is going to just be qualifying if they're doing it the same way again. But either way, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more features that they can make up some points here. Bray Nyler says,
Yes.
I didn't realize how dominant the top 3 have been in the win column. Yeah, these top 3, I mean, look at that. 15 wins for Gravel and then 11 wins for Buddy Kofoid and Carson Macedo each. I mean, and look at the top 10s. 63 starts for all 3 of those guys. 60 for David Gravel, 55 for Buddy Kofoid, and 48 for Carson Macedo. Carson Macedo, I'm sure, would like to have a few nights back where he might be a little bit more in this conversation, like I thought he would be earlier in the season. Logan Schuhart is making kind of a late season charge as consistent as he's been, because he has 49 top 10s, but only the 2 wins. But still, he's about 60 points back of Carson Macedo here. But yeah, those 3 have been the cream of the crop of the series, pretty much winning. If you had
It's
to put
over
money
half.
on, yeah, if you had to put money any night for the World of Outlaws, if you had to put money on one of those 3 guys winning, you're going to win money.
Right. These are the 3, right? Unless you're in PA.
Yeah.
Bitches.
But yeah, 3 bull rings next weekend. So Lincoln Park, LaSalle, and Angel Park, smaller tracks. 3/8, a 5th, and a 3rd. That's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully weather stays good and they're able to get all of those in. I think Angel Park might be the makeup. But
Yeah, at least 2 of these are makeups. I can't remember. I heard it today, but or all 3. I don't remember. I think the Wisconsin and Kansas races are makeups, I believe.
okay, that makes sense. Let's see here. You got to get peanut butter drizzled on them. Talking about I never had that with fried Oreos. Shorty's is the name of the place. I didn't know that I don't know how I've gotten like lemonade and stuff from Shorty's, but I never realized that they had fried Oreos. I'd always overlooked it.
So Angel Park and Lincoln Park. So the 1st and 3rd on that list are the makeups. Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. Just weird how it fits in, but that makes sense. I thought the Jason Johnson Classic was a makeup too,
It
but
might be.
maybe that is late.
Because I
I
thought that
thought
was earlier in the year.
well, it used to be, and it used to be somewhere else, right? So maybe Tyler knows that if that's scheduled or was rescheduled from earlier in the year.
LaSalle got added because they just reopened earlier this summer. So yeah,
Interesting.
they really filled out their schedule here towards the World Finals. Sometimes they get like a week off to keep it open here for these makeups. So that's pretty cool. Kofoid will be the guy to beat next year with the World of Outlaws, says Gary. I think that is kind of probably where we're going. We got to see who's going to be on that Outlaw tour next year, and that'll be something for future episodes as we do more previews and reviews of the year. I think the season's going to be really interesting to watch between the Outlaws and High Limit. Who goes where? What deals are being made? Like I said,
What each series announces.
yeah. Like a lot of that type of stuff, I think, is going to be very interesting to watch. I think that's going to be more of a storyline than probably any rides around here, around here locally. But those are that's the thing that I'm going to keep my eye on. Any word on Zeb Wise? Nothing. I mean, and just to sit out an entire season like this.
Every week that goes, it's worse chances to get a good ride.
Yeah, get a ride in general, and
he's going to start. He'd have to start over now, a regional, local, whatever, and work his way back into that. You're out this long, it might be over. Like to get that opportunity in a major ride when you've sat that long.
We're gonna know a lot of major stuff by World Finals week. Yeah, and I already know that there's gonna be a few announcements coming that week. Because some people really, especially on the Outlaw tour, they like to save some of those announcements. So Outlaw or World Finals week coming up beginning of November, something to keep an eye on.
One of my favorite weeks is World Finals because of the announcements,
yeah.
but some of my favorite announcements are people that aren't doing anything different, but unveiling their 2026 cars at World Finals. We've seen that a time or two. I'm here for that. That's cool. Because if you're a race team and you're at that level, you go to World Finals and you unveil your new car and say merch will be available Monday. Christmas presents.
Yeah, that's
Come
true.
on, people.
And then you're already ready for the next season. You look
Yeah.
like you show up to that first race and you're like, yeah, I already got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
If you're a race team and you can have the money to invest and say, here's my car, it's wrapped, here's my 2026 scheme, merch is available starting whatever day.
Mm-hmm.
You can order it online all winter long. You can sell merch all winter long where you're not racing. Like, I'm just saying, I didn't offer that. I offered that idea / advice to a race car driver one time. I don't think they were prepared financially to be able to do that. Like, sell next year's stuff already, like to order it all.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're in that position as a team, all the eyes are on Charlotte. Everybody's watching in the industry, all the fans, all of everybody. Even if you could be ready with your scheme, you take a car down that's wrapped and you take merch with you. Oh,
Yeah.
you
You
want
can
to
make a
sell some
killing,
merch.
especially
You
down.
sell your current shit cheap that people
Mhm.
will still buy it, and then you sell your new stuff at your premium money. Just saying, if you're one of the top 10 like most popular teams in the country, why wouldn't you do that?
Mhm.
Takes a lot of planning and prep, but it would work. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, for sure. Especially at the World Finals, you get people from all over the country going there. It's the last hurrah for the year. A lot of people plan
Yeah.
vacations there. Plan this trip there beginning of the year to go there. So get a lot of people from all over, and you get all 3 divisions as well. Like Tyler's saying here, we'll talk about World Finals a little bit more probably in the coming weeks. Let's go to Lakeside Speedway for high limit night 1. Brent Marks, baby, let's go. Gets a win over Aaron Reitzel, Brad Sweet, Chase Randall, Brenham Crouch, Dason Persley, Cy Lynch, Ryan Timms, Rico Abreu, and Giovanni Selzy. Your top 10 quick time was Aaron Reitzel. Your heat race winners were Chase Randall, Dason Persley, Brett Marks, Gio Selzy. Hard charger was Xavier Donnie going from 20th to 13th plus 7. Brett Marks with the win. What'd you see from this one? I only saw a couple highlights.
Like I did watch this when I got home. I turned it on and listen, obviously I'm a fan, so I was on the edge of my seat because this race was anything but like safe and secure. It was heavy, it was wet, it was narrow, it was really, really fast. Lap cars were running. If they were up front, they'd have been running same lap times as the leaders. It was sketchy as hell. The cars did not look comfortable. They looked all balled up and tight. And if you missed it bad, got your momentum killed if the other car hit it right. Like Reitzel talked about it in his interview that like he felt like he was better, but he would get there and then he would make a mistake and he'd lose all the momentum. It was honestly, it was just kind of sketchy. Like I can't believe these guys. To me, this race showed how good these guys are, that they didn't wreck each other and didn't crash because there was not a lot of room to do anything. So shout out. I've seen Brent win this kind of race on this kind of surface before. I think even at this racetrack. I think he won one very similar style. Like track position matters. You can see there wasn't a ton of passing in the very front. It was still competitive, but man, it was on edge. And I think they talked about it like they were on edge the whole time, and it was not fun necessarily. Like not fun like you would in the traditional sense of fun. Obviously, the guy who won the race had a little bit of fun, but it was not fun if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Brent Marks really starting to hit a stride here, I think, towards the end of the season. He's been consistent all year. But I think even and it's something that Chris brought up in one of his talking points when we were talking to him, uh, even though he couldn't make it tonight. Just about him finding a stride here and hitting some consistency in the last month or so. Picking up a win here, and we're going to look at the points. He's kind of closing in a little bit on the driver's points. I don't think he has enough time, um, but yeah, just awesome win for Brent. Another solid night for Reitzel and Brad Sweet. Rico, 9th. I mean, kind of some of that domination that we've seen from early in the season has really gone away here. I don't know if it's because of the change coming next season. Maybe they're already looking, but Rico really hasn't been a factor to win a race here. And, I shouldn't say it that way. He hasn't been as much of a factor as he was like in the first half of the season. You're like, just Rico's on fire. He's the best car in the country. And now the second half of the season, he's kind of like, he's good. He's always there, but not, finishing 9th was like his worst run early in the season. Now it's kind of where he's been.
Yeah, I think it's a tale of two seasons a little bit. Like Brent has been consistent all year, but he's turning those 6-7s into like first, thirds, and fourths. Like
Right.
definitely turned up the wick a little bit, making more dashes, timing a little bit better. When you're racing with the best of the best, track position is so key. It's hard to go from 10th to the win in these races in these touring series. So, it doesn't happen often, and you got to be in the dash, and you got to get yourself, in a spot to see the lead, and um that's happening more often for Brent. And I think he would say that too, right? He got to come home, got to win at Williams Grove, had a good National Open week. Even the stuff that hasn't been on tour has been pretty good lately. So it might be a little bit too little, too late to really kind of get into this truly winning the points title deal. But hey, it would hopefully good carryover
Tells
momentum to
into
start
next season.
2026. That's all you can
Absolutely.
hope. Get 26 going and pick off turn these results and start 26 that way. He's a title contender for 2026. I
100%.
really believe it. I know they can. I know the ability's there. They're just that half a tenth, a little bit here, a little bit there, and they'll be contenders. So next year, all around, like you just said earlier, kind of previewing 2026 is going to be wild. But I know one thing: Brent will be on the high limit tour,
Hmm.
and it'll be number 19, but it won't be white and red.
Oh, baby. Look at that. Dropping a
And I
little,
don't think it's going to be white and red.
dropping little nuggets.
Little nuggets. Anyway, but no, this again. I was on the edge of my seat. Love to see Brent win. And also kudos to Brent. His angel donor money he gave out in Victory Lane was to the fallen officers here in York County.
That's
Um,
awesome.
by no means does Brent have to do that, right? He's from here, yes, but he's a touring guy out on the road. He typically donates to oh, forgive me, Christian, who's a big fan at Williams Grove. We always see him in Victory Lane. I forget the foundation, but with Christian, it's always that. He changed it up a little bit this week. This win and to the fallen officers here in York County. So that was super cool.
That's awesome with Brent. You could definitely tell he's um,
This is
still
still home.
still home for him. You know what I mean? That's why when people say, "Oh, Brent's not posse," I still consider him posse. I don't care if he's out on an outlaw tour. He's still a guy that you're rooting for when he comes in, and we're going against the Outlaws at Natty and stuff like that. He's still a guy you're rooting for. So, congratulations, Brent. Night 2, Brad Sweet gets the win over Ryan Timms. There's Rico with a solid podium finish. Aaron Reitzel, Brent Marks, Brenham Crouch, Justin Sanders, Emerson Axum, Brady Bacon, and Landon Crawley. What are your top 10? Your quick time was Landon Crawley. And then he also won a heat race along with Ryan Timms, Rico Abreu, and Austin McCarroll. And then our charger was Joel Myers going from 24th to 14th.
Yeah, the B main last car in on a photo finish.
Yeah, how about that? Knocking Jason Persley out, splitting 3 wide between him and I can't remember who the other one was. But it was a hell of a move.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, that's it. I don't remember
I think
either.
it was Carson McCarroll.
Oh yeah, go down. It was right. Yeah, you're probably right. Right there. B main was right below you there.
Yep. Yeah, it's Carson McCarroll just edging out Jason Persley there. No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was
Yep,
McCarroll and Persley racing for for 3rd and 4th, and then Myers just came.
Myers got in and got Persley. Yeah.
So hell of a move by him. Brad Sweet though, doing Brad Sweet things, just being consistent, being there in the top 3 almost every night now lately, and picking off a win here. Ryan Timms, a little bit of a moment between him and Chase Randall in this one. A little bit of a slider that kind of put Randall up in the fluffy stuff near the wall and kind of ended Randall's night. Whether maybe Randall should have lifted, I don't know, but pretty aggressive slider by Timms. But other than that, really, that top 5 is is kind of who you expect to come into this weekend.
Mandy, man, that's aggressive. You're not on your burner account. That's your real name on that one. Don't have your burner out on that one. So Brad Sweet, first win in like 3 months or something, they said? Like,
It
just
doesn't feel that
hasn't
way though.
won.
Yeah.
I know. But when we see it, we're like, oh yeah, Brad winning.
Mm.
So not a surprise. He's good there. He's good at Lakeside. Didn't hate this. It was big for his title hopes, for sure. But yeah, the Ryan Timms Chase Randall thing, I don't think Ryan did anything wrong. He kind of said in his interview he thought he was going to clear him. When he didn't, he kind of left enough room for
Tried to leave
Randall
him
to make a
lane.
decision. And he wrecked. So it is what it is. I listen, this is for second place in an A main. You can feel bad for Chase Randall all you want because he's chasing his best career finish, but
Yeah, I
don't
don't think
don't
Ryan did
open
anything
yourself up to
wrong.
a slider, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think Ryan did anything wrong. I'm not going to take Ryan and say he did him dirty, did anything. It's his job to go try to pass that race car. If he booted him out of the lane and like got physical and just moved the guy, okay, let's have that conversation. But I don't see where Ryan Timms he took some responsibility for it, but he also wasn't very apologetic because he's like, I didn't
Yeah.
hit him.
I
I
think
don't
it was
like.
I think it was aggressive, but I don't think it was out of bounds. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it was
What do you think
anything.
David Gravel would think?
David Gravel would say, "Why are you racing me so hard?"
You have tears. He would have tears in his interview. Oh my God! Someone got
Um,
near me.
I think Ryan tried to leave a lane, like you're saying, and try to make Randall make a decision, and Randall just tried to hold it up on top. Then, really, kind of quick decision and made the wrong decision. You know what I mean? I don't blame him for staying up top either. You know what I mean? I'll blame him for trying to race him right back and get back around him. It just didn't work out. So, racing, it's just hard racing there for between two young guys. You feel bad for Chase Randall because he was having such a great night. But I mean, Ryan Timms is out there racing too, so you know, and he did like he did. He tried to leave him a lane, but it was a little aggressive, just slightly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is also a product of it being so one lane dominant. This is a product of it, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show. Complete opposite of the night before,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if this was any better for a product at Lakeside. Like the night before was sketchy in a different way. This was sketchy in another way. Guys had like you couldn't turn down off the curb and drive across and get any grip. It was so slick, and it was got so wide that you couldn't turn and kind of recover from a slider. So it was slide or die. What like it wasn't that great. And looking at Lakeside, like the way it's shaped and the way it races, I think it has so much potential for better than what we saw both nights. My opinion.
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
so heavy one night and it was completely slick. And they took 45 minutes to do track prep to try to like get the track ready for the
Man, I
A.
fell asleep
And the
last night during the
bottom,
track prep.
yeah, and the bottom lasted like 3 laps. Look, where's Tanner Thorson on this rundown? Go down and look. Tanner Thorson was battling for almost the top 5 at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, he finished 13th.
There he is. 9th to 13th. At one point, he was battling for almost 5th. Where does Tanner Thorson like to run? He likes to run the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that was
as soon
gone.
as it went away, boom, he was gone. You didn't see him anymore. They spent 45 minutes to try to bring the bottom back, and it ended up being one lane like it was all the rest of the night before that. Like I don't know what there seemed to be something missing with like you took 45 minutes, but you didn't make it any better.
Right.
This was not any better.
You were just
You
trying
can't
to
tell
get
me
through the
you
feature at that point. You
yeah,
know.
you can't tell me you manicured the cushion for 45 minutes. Like
Right.
that was already there. So I don't know. I like Lakeside. I think I like watching races there. I think the shape is cool, but
Same.
I think they missed the mark a little bit on the prep this weekend from what
Yeah,
I saw.
a little bit. Maybe they weren't
But
expecting as many cars as they got because they got about did they
maybe
get like almost 40 cars? Yeah, I mean
I don't know.
a 17 car B main, that's pretty close to 40 cars. So maybe they expected that, or the weather, who knows? But I like
Yeah, I mean, it
Lakeside
could
too.
have been there could have been all
I
kinds
thought
of
it was
things we didn't
entertaining.
know.
It could have been worse, you know, for sure. But it could have
For
been better
sure. It didn't
because
take
that
rubber.
track, yeah,
It didn't take rubber.
could have been a lot better because we've seen some really good racing at Lakeside in the past, and not that
Yeah,
this wasn't good racing, but it could have been better.
agreed.
Talking about, let's take a look at the drivers' points first of all. Brad Sweet now has closed that gap on Rico Abreu down to 30 points. Rico had 11 wins. Brad Sweet now has 4 wins. Both have 36 top 10s. Brad Sweet with 5 more top 5s. This is what I'm kind of talking about with Brad Sweet just being that consistent guy, being up front, and Rico kind of falling off here the last couple months, not, just not being consistent. Like, obviously, Rico's still a hitter. He's still one of the best cars in the country. It's just not there. I mean, he got the podium on Saturday night, but just there's nights then when he's like 8th to 12th, and you're like, what's going on? And this isn't Rico. Then you got
Pressure's on. Pressure is
pressure's on now, and there are only 3 races left. We're gonna talk about that here in a second, but Brent Marks now 181 points back, 33 top 10s. How about that for Brent? I mean, second most top 10s in the series, 33 top 10s, also tied with Brad Sweet with 4 wins. Only the 14 top 5s is kind of what's keeping him out there. But obviously, those stats show he's been pretty close to as consistent as those other guys, being up in the top 10, night in, night out, being one of those guys. Just needed to get up into the top 5 a little bit more, and that's what we're seeing with him here at the end of the season.
Yeah, kind of like what we talked about, right? Just kind of reiterates that and hammers that home that what we were observing without the data tells us, and it's turning those 7th through 9ths into 3rd through 5ths,
Yep.
and that's the difference for next year. That got to be shooting for is make those dashes, finish inside the top 5. Points will take care of themselves because Brad Sweet's in the points title with the same amount of wins.
Right.
Got to make the
right.
dash. You got to keep your car in the top 5.
Yep. 49 has the most top 5s in the series, and that just goes to show how consistent he is, and that's championship winning driving there. He knows how to win titles that way. Looking at the owners' points, Rico still leads. The 24 still leads, but now only 20 points over the Ridge and Sun Racing 87, and then 30 points over the KKR 49, and then it's the 7BC in 4th with 145 points back. So. And then it's Brent Marks back in 5th, 181 points back. So that looks a little bit different than the Drivers' Championship. That one's going to be real tight because you have 3 cars within 30 points of each other. That can be just a couple spots on the track. That could be if you don't make a dash one night, you're going from 1st to 3rd. You know what I mean? So pressure's definitely on Rico for both titles now. It's going to be very interesting as we look at the end of the season here. Last week of the season, 3 more races. You have a midweek race at Lucas Oil Speedway on Wednesday night. And then Texas two-step all-in championship weekend at Texas Motor Speedway Friday and Saturday to determine this championship. Going to be an exciting week. Hopefully they get all 3 of these in, give these guys as many chances to get points as possible. I don't know what the weather looks like at any of these tracks, but fingers crossed that it's going to be good. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see this championship wind down. I think it's going to be an exciting final night there. I think that's going to be something when we're at Lincoln on Saturday night. We're going to be kind of watching on the side because I think that's going to be action-packed and it's going to come down to the final lap.
Hey, and shout out Justin Sanders in that owner's title. Go back to that owner's title points. Shout out Justin Sanders to keep this 87 team while Aaron Reutzel was out recovering. When you look at that owner's points and they're 20 points back and Aaron was out of the car for as many races as he was, shout out Justin Sanders, man. Like that's a season potentially saving deal there and the performance he put in. So good for him. And honestly, not going to take anything away from Gio in that 7BC. That's a great job filling in for as long as he has as well for Tyler Courtney.
Yeah.
So shout out to those sub drivers. Those teams did a good job of having great teams to support these drivers that come in that don't know your program and haven't raced your car. That's some good race teams right there.
It's not easy to just throw anybody in there. You got to be able to vibe with them, and as good as a driver can be. I mean, it doesn't. We've seen time and time again. You think, oh man, this great driver going in this great car, it's just going to work right off the back. No, it takes a while because every driver feels things differently. They like their car to drive off of, drive differently, and it takes a little bit to figure that out. And I think the 7BC is starting to figure it out with Gio. And yeah, like you said, great job for these guys to be able to jump in and keep these guys in the title fight till the end here. Also, I got to give a shout out Tyler Courtney has been fantastic in the booth. If he ever does, I want to see him back in a race car because he's phenomenal on the track. But man, he was great in the booth. He is like, I don't want to make the comparison because of the injury, but uh, he's like he could be like the next like Brad Doty when it comes to being a fantastic driver analyst up in the booth. He's been great being there with High Limit. He's really added something, and I think it might be something that maybe Dirt Vision and Flow. I know it's an extra person to bring on the road, but if you could figure out a former driver or somebody to get in the booth there, I think it adds so much more to the broadcast. I think it's fantastic. So shout
He's
out Rico or shout out Tyler.
yeah, I've always heard he's a pretty smooth talker. Works well for him. So
Yeah, I always felt like drivers make the best commentators. Yeah, I mean, anytime you watch like a one with where Brad Doty is doing commentating, is doing that analyst position kind of.
I mean,
I
talk
love
about
it.
taking
I
me
think
back
it's
to my
great.
childhood.
Yeah,
Brad Doty on TNN
yeah,
talking, doing World of Outlaw races, bro. Like, talk about iconic voices to me. Johnny, sure,
hmm
that's this era. That era on TNN, watching Brad Doty call outlaw races was like, just inject that right into my veins, bro. Like, oh, the best. I might go watch some of those back just to hear it.
But yeah, I think obviously, like I said, I want to see Tyler back in a car, but he has a bright future if he ever wants to go that direction as well. Jay-Z with the subtle jabs.
What do you mean?
We're gonna do Drink It and Dump It. If you haven't played before, drink it to somebody you want to give a shout out to for something positive over the weekend, and then drink it somebody you might want to drink it to or pour one out to for had maybe a negative weekend, and you want to give them some good vibes their way. I'm gonna read off Chris's first. Chris did do a Drink It and Dump It. Chris's Drink It was drink it to Anthony Mackie's return and win, and then dump it to Ryan Tim's ill-advised slider on Chase Randall. Was his dump it.
Bad takes from the other side. He's not even here, and he's got the bad takes.
Should be back next week to defend himself. We'll talk to him maybe a little bit more about that next week. But and then Brett Perico also put in our chat. He said, "I want to dump it to Jimmy for telling me I will have a top 10 at Selinsgrove." So I went over to Brett early
with
on.
9 cars there.
There was 9 cars signed in at the time. It didn't look like there was going to be that many more. I'm like, oh, well, at least you'll have a top 10 tonight, Brett. Then there ended up being 13 cars signed in, and he did not get a top 10. So I might have ruined that.
Poor Bretty.
Poor Brett.
Bretty.
You want to go?
Man, I would drink it to Lincoln Speedway. I don't want to be like too cliche and homer about it, but dude, couldn't be more proud of the effort they put in. Put the Outlaw show, and then with the tribute to Bobby, working with the Outlaws, putting it all together. Obviously, in a short turnaround from the news we got over the last weekend. So shout out Lincoln Speedway. I love going there. I can bitch about front wheel drive cars and 8 of them finishing in 45 minutes. They're going to have those nights. That's nothing to do with the racetrack or
That's
their
not a track
decisions.
problem.
That's just the way it goes. So, but shout out Lincoln. Great season. Hopefully they finish out great this weekend. Hopefully I can make it. That's my plan, but we'll see. Life might take other angles this week for me, but shout out Lincoln for that. What a tribute. Like I said, I've been a part of a lot of those. That was just different. That was just very different vibe. Dump it. Oh. It's a quiet one a little bit, but Cody Hartlaw, I don't think their season would have been done. Right? We have a couple Lincoln races with time trials. We have Baps left. There's Bridgeport left. They may not have done Bridgeport, but like they wouldn't have been done. I don't like the idea of that car not being back out there to finish what
Yeah, it
we would
sucks.
consider the season here in PA. So we'll dump it to Cody and his deal. And I mean, they're positive about it on their post, right? They're going to get ready for 2026. It sucks. It's not fun to have, but they can go get ready for 2026, come back with vengeance next year and ready to go.
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what you did there. I also agree on both of those. Cody was actually gonna be my dump it, but I'm gonna drink it to Selinsgrove because I think they had a great, fantastic first season with the new regime there, as well. I think they've done a great job there. Moving forward, they still have some things to work on, obviously, like formats maybe, but uh, I think they have a bright future, and things haven't looked better for that track right now. And then dump it. I was going to do Cody and also Drew Young. It just sucked to kind of see that happen on that first lap wreck. But other than
Drew's
that,
taken some hard licks this year,
Yeah.
even in the 305. So hopefully, he keeps at it, keeps digging, and gets back stronger for next year.
yeah, it was just unfortunate to see. Especially getting into those water barrels into the backstretch, it was kind of scary for a second. It wasn't too hard of a hit, but it was just you don't want to ever see somebody hit that area of the track. But yeah, those, and also drink it to the whole crew that we had up here, our dollar store version of Beer Hill up in Selinsgrove. A bunch of us hanging out on the hill on turn 1. Awesome time with everybody. Great way to end the season there at Selinsgrove.
The Natty Ice Hill, like the
I like that one.
Dollar General Beer Hill.
All right. Santos, drink it to Anthony Macri and Chase Eats for an awesome weekend for both. Dump it to Selinsgrove format decisions. Honorable mention, as always, you guys for another awesome show. Enjoy Sunday nights versus Monday nights. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Santos. Been here from the start, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Matt Bird, drink it to one hell of a time at Selinsgrove with everybody. Jump it to the Selinsgrove finale.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Weird. He wants to drink it and dump it to the same thing. Okay.
It happens sometimes. Tyler Koenig, drink it to the Posse 4-2 against the Outlaws. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah, Posse. Drink it to Matt Williamson sweeping Super Dirt Week and dump it to the season almost being over. I agree. Magby, drink it to all the people that's on me and Matt Bird Blackberry Lemonade. The Blackberry Lemonade, the Jack Blackberry and the lemonade. Okay, I got it.
So I had 2 glasses of it sitting here. I'm gonna go take some NyQuil, buddy. I'm gonna have the best sleep of my life.
Also says, and Macri's return to Victory Lane. Lincoln, the Outlaws, high limit for doing a celebration of life for Bobby. And then dump it to Cody Hartlaub Racing for ending his season, and Drew Young, and my Eagles and Oregon Ducks losing this week. I didn't know Oregon lost. Sucks.
Yeah, Oregon lost. Indiana, bro.
Hey.
Kurt Signetti.
Trick of the James Franklin being gone. Also,
think about it. Kurt Signetti, this firing could cost Penn State $100 million. 50 to get rid of Franklin and 50 more to hire Signetti.
Yeah, maybe 100 to get Signetti if he wants to. The friggin', because he just signed a contract like Franklin's.
Yeah.
Amanda, drink at the Selinsgrove last race and a good crowd and an awesome driver winning. Dump it to a race, to race season soon over, and all the wet weather we've had this year. It's been really dry here the last half. Like, we've had really good luck.
Weird year.
It's been weird because the first half was like, man, are we going to get any racing in? And then the second half was like, boom. Now we're in a drought watch. Like, it's crazy.
We've been in drought more than we haven't, but it only rained on weekends early in the year.
Yeah,
it only rained on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, actually. It only rained on weekends. That's all. It was like we were still too dry, but we're complaining about rain. It was a weird freaking year.
All right, hold on. Let me clear my.
You ready for this one? All right, let's get prepared. This is gonna be a minute.
We got Mandy's, and Mandy likes to shout everything out, and we love that about her.
Mandy's a reviewer. This isn't drinking or dump. This is a review of the weekend.
Drink it, go Posse, and suck it to the Outlaws. Chase Dietz at Selinsgrove, and Lincoln Macri winning his second race back after being out of the car for a few weeks. Brett Marks, gravel breaking at Lincoln, Blackberry Lemonade, and poor soy sauce for getting fucked up.
Oh. Our buddy soy sauce. Well, keep moving on. Let's not put his real name out there.
Yeah. Lincoln for getting their race in before the rain, and for the Bobby Allen tribute, especially to Shark Racing cars leading the missing man. That made me ugly cry. Team U Beer Hill at Selinsgrove. I like that. Turn 1 Terribles. I like that. Team U is better than Dollar Store Beer Hill. I like that. Team U Beer Hill.
I don't know. Is it better though? I mean, it sounds better. It flows better.
It sounds better. Hey, it's our little thing. It's cool. Dump it to Brett Perigo, Cody Hartleb, and Drew Young, and the Water Bills, the URC guy that wrecked, and racing season ending soon. Tyler also says, "Hey, drink it to you guys. Fantastic show. Good. Glad I could help you guys with stats all year long. We appreciate you,
Tyler.
man." If you don't know, Tyler also does his racing roundup on his Facebook page throughout the week at times. I know sometimes it's usually Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, but follow Tyler. He does a really good racing roundup on his page. Mandy says, also dump at the Philly sports teams and Penn State James Franklin. Marie, drink at the Trouts run against the Outlaws. That was an awesome run. Great to see Chad Trout up there. Especially, they're going to be scaling back, I guess, next year. So we won't see him out as much. So it's good to see him get this good run with the Outlaws. Troy Savage, another great show, guys. Watching from work in New Zealand. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate it.
Have a good work day, man.
I guess it's Monday for you. That's weird.
It's Monday morning somewhere, depending. New Zealand. I don't know where that is geographically. It's all the same shit to me, but let's just say it's probably like noon there or something. So,
yeah.
Troy, thanks for tuning in, brother.
Thank you, man. And thank you guys as always tuning in.
Oh, and Troy, since you're so far ahead of us, if the apocalypse is coming, can you give us a warning? We heard about that last month. If that ever happens, shoot us a message, Troy, so we know it's coming. You're so far ahead.
Drop a comment in here and be like, "Oh, hey guys, it's coming. You guys might want to end it."
Yeah. Do what you want to do these last few hours. Thanks,
don't
buddy.
forget Cam Smith, 19th to 8th. Cam Smith, he's an animal.
Cam Smith, I'm telling you, we know the potential. Cam Smith down the road, let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, Troy Wagaman, Cam Smith, and Logan Rumsey, are they running this shit?
Yeah. I think Freddie's still going to be there too. Freddie's still young enough where he's going to be.
True.
You know what I mean?
Danny's not old either.
No,
he's in his 30s, right?
Yeah, Danny still got 15.
Think about what we could have as a posse.
Years of prime left in him, to be honest.
Think about what we could be as a posse in that many years from now. Obviously, funding, rides, all the things have to work out right. But look at, I don't think our guys get enough credit for some of the young talent we do have.
Yeah.
California gets a lot of that, but I think there's better talent here than people think when it comes to competing at the top levels. And I think the future looks good, man. Hopefully the future looks good with the funding of these guys. They can show off their talent.
I know he's Jersey, but I mean, if he's going to stick in sprint cars, I would imagine you're going to see him in PA a lot more. Would be Buddy Schweibens too. He's another guy that
Justin Whittle just is
he's still pretty young. There's a lot of good young talent around here, and you just hope that they could continue to keep things going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not even mentioning, like Tyler just said, there's 358 guys, right? Like, not even mentioning the guys that aren't in 410s yet, but think about some of these young guys that have been are veterans of the 410 division, like Cam Smith already. Now it's what, fourth full year, maybe? Fourth full year in 410s? Third? Troy Wagaman?
Mm-hmm.
The future is bright, I think, for what we have going on here if they continue to get, their support there, right? For to keep their career going. So, which you never know. Scary world out there from a funding standpoint and team ownership standpoint. But if they do, we got some guys.
I agree. Logan Sparr's another one. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of young talent out there. So that's going to be something. So kind of just with the show here, will be Sunday nights now again. Just a reminder. We'll probably stay weekly through the World Finals. So the next couple weeks. Because after the World Finals, then you have the BAPS final showdown, and then the season's pretty much done. Then we'll probably do our it's been really fun every year. We did it with Jeremy Elliott last year. I don't know who will get this year. Maybe we want to bring Jeremy back on because he was awesome last year. We'll see. But we do our report card show where we put the report cards out to you guys to grade, and then we give our grades, and we kind of break down everybody's season. It's a lot of fun. So it went a little long last year, but it's really like our season finale for the show. And then then we'll probably go kind of bi-weekly or something like that through the winter, get some guests on, talk about some of the news, but it will probably be a little irregular, from Thanksgiving till Icebreaker. You know what I mean? So just kind of the immediate future, but it'll be Sunday nights now here. That's what we'll be
Sunday
doing.
nights. That's what we're doing. We know it'll work for us. The three of us as a group, with our real lives, and we want to do every other week this winter. We usually take a pretty long break, but I really think you get more opportunities to have drivers on over the winter, obviously because of life, right? The
Yep.
the shop life slows down a little bit. It's Sunday night versus they're not coming off racing. I think it could be fun. It could be a fun off season for us.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
off season.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to be, like you said, we took like 6 or 7 weeks off last year, and it was nice. Don't get me wrong, but I think,
It's
like
a
you
nice
said,
break,
it's
but
it's
yeah,
it's a nice break. But I think if we just went every other week or whatever, 2 shows a month, whatever, get a couple guests on throughout the month, it might be a little irregular. Maybe we, whatever, but we'll figure that out. But just so you guys know what's coming up here, Tyler Koenig, you gonna jump in my grave that fast? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Tyler Koenig's his racing roundup is going to be Mondays, since we're doing Sundays now. So that's cool. So Monday night, you can still get your fix over with Tyler Koenig, as he will do his breakdown for the week of racing. And also, if you want to talk about modifieds, that's the place to go.
I don't get it.
Not here. Not here. I'm kidding.
What's a modified? Why is it called a
The hell's a
modified?
modified? The only time I love modifieds is the final showdown, and I could yell "Mud Turtles" when it's
Over and over again, hammered.
Yeah, hammered when it's 40 degrees and half raining out at Babs. That's usually what it is.
Remember last year I showed up in like a wheelchair with a cast on my leg. My toes were out. It was so cold, but I couldn't feel it. My feet were still numb. I couldn't feel my toes. It was great.
So yeah, this upcoming week, obviously you're gonna keep an eye on High Limit, but get to Lincoln this weekend. Last Saturday for Lincoln, Final 50. You get four features, so a real hell of a way to close the season out there, and then it's really just Baps and Bridgeport then after that around here. So yeah,
4 features, 2 champions get crowned.
yeah,
Lincoln
it's gonna be
Speedway.
fun.
Be there this weekend.
Be there for sure. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Sunday.